What's up? How y'all doing?
Zach, Darce Queen, Cooper joining us here on NFC Now. Very impressive performance that you put on at that fight, too. I meant to tell you that, man, at the Pink Pony a couple months ago. Welcome to NFC Now, man. Thank you for joining us. Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday to you. Happy MLK Day to all you. So what's up?
Shout out to you for shouting out MLK, my boy. Came on the pod with the blessing. I like that energy, man. You good in my book. You good in my book. David says that that y'all have a lot of similarities as well as you're Jewish, correct?
Yeah, I am.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
My mom's maiden name is Blickstein, so that's one of the most Jewish names you can get.
Your what name is Blickstein?
Her maiden name is Glickstein. Anything with gold or Steen, you're Jewish for sure.
My mom's maiden name is Greenberg. So
Great. That's another one too.
we're up there.
Yeah.
Respect, man. Got a big fight coming up this Friday against Walter Flores, who just joined us on the pod. It's fight week, man. What are your emotions just leading into, about to go into war?
I'm excited. I'm super ready. Finally back to 145 after, 5+ years not fighting at 145. My last two are like 162 and 170. So I'm really dialed in. I got all my nutrition, everything perfectly planned out this week. I've been hitting it hard, sweating. I'm super excited to finally be back at 145.
Indeed. Now, when you fought Shlomo, what weight was that at?
162.
That was at 162. So you were just in a completely different weight class, man. How does that affect your confidence? Coming off of a loss.
It doesn't really affect me anymore. It used to. I used to get so upset about losses, and man, I was supposed to win this fight and win this next fight, so on and so forth. I'm just having fun in there right now. And at 45, I think there's a lot of good matchups out there right now. But it's in the past. It doesn't bother me at all.
As you've gotten older, has like your mindset around that changed, and like what helped what clicked in your head to be like, yo, I'm just out here having a good time, bro?
I kind of let go of chasing the UFC dream. That's kind of where I'm at now. I had a 4-year layoff. I ended up moving to Florida for 2 years, training at the big American top team down there. Had a couple injuries that set me back. Pandemic happened. Became a firefighter in a year, and kind of was just like, if I come back to fighting, I'm just going to do it for fun. I'm not old. I'm 29, but that's about the age that they would want. That's like middle of the peak years. So I kind of just gave it up and was like, all right, I'm just going to go fight and have fun. If something comes of it, something comes of it.
Respect. David?
Is it weird seeing Akeem Bashir? I'm just looking at the list that when you mentioned the fights in your weight class, we've got Akeem Bashir versus Justin Artiga. Like, I'm going to have to look at the dressing rooms, but is that ever weird for you, like being in a dressing room with someone potentially you might fight out there in the future?
No, I think we're both probably focused on the task at hand that night. Some people let it get to their head. Some people kind of mean mug and jaw at each other. But for me, it doesn't matter. I don't care whoever's in my locker room. I don't care if the person I'm fighting is in the same locker room as I.
And looking at it, you're not in the same dressing room, but okay. I am having problems making the dressing room, so I might actually put Walter Flores in your dressing room.
Yeah. Make our list right next to each other.
You guys just help each other warm up.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's what they do in tennis. I don't know if you've ever seen tennis, but they actually volley with each other as they're warming up for a tennis match. Yeah. Two players that are playing each other warm up with each other before they start the match. But tennis is a much different sport than MMA fighting in a cage.
Let's start a new trend. Let's start doing that. Sparring backstage.
It's still mano-a-mano, though. Like, I feel like, it's still kind of like, hey, I'm here to beat you. I'm not here to beat the team. I'm here to beat you.
Yeah.
And Walter, in the promo video, I know you had Gently come to the gym, do an amazing job on the promo. What'd you think about it when you saw it?
I thought it was awesome. She had a quick turnaround on this one. The last one took a week, and the next day after she filmed me, it was up. I was like, oh, dang, that's quick. So she always does a good job. It's fun to see those things. Fun to see Oblast putting all the effort into reaching out to people to get that stuff done.
Look at this. He's been on multiple of the highlight videos, the preview videos, and now he's critiquing one to the other. I don't think you can see it on the screen there, but that's actually Walter Flores saying we can do a little sparring backstage, and then in the cage is business. Yeah, so I think he likes the idea of you guys warming up together.
Yeah, once it's in the cage, we're not friends. We can be friends before or after, but those 15 minutes or 17 with the breaks, he's my enemy. He's the guy who beat my teammate. whoever it is, I don't care who's across the cage. That's my enemy for 15 minutes.
I think that was my next question. If it wasn't Julian's, he did beat Josh Kozier. Now he's fighting you, SPG. Is that something? I'm sure you guys have talked about that, and I'm sure it's a cool motivational and bragging point should it happen.
Yeah, it's we kind of have a friendly rivalry with them. They're close by. They have a ton of fighters. We have just a few, but it's always fun to fight those guys, knowing the good gym that they come out of. Yeah, I mean, it's not something we harp on that he beat us and he's from top team, but it's like, all right, he beat my teammate, so I'm gonna get that one back. That's my mindset in this one. Is I'm looking to really get this one back for Kozer and SPG.
Your parents come to all the fights. Are they able to make it this weekend?
My mom, no. And my dad actually may be in town. I think I got him a ticket. I think he has some business he's doing in Atlanta. He's just going to stay an extra day. So, they moved to Florida, but he came to he wasn't there in the last one, but he was the knockout you showed earlier.
I remember seeing him there.
Yeah. Pacing around in the back.
You have support from your family, you have support from your gym, man. But I'm just curious, what's your why? Like, why do you fight? I know you said you're just fighting to have fun now, man. But like, how does one even like get to the point to be like, hey, like I want to get in the cage and go fight somebody?
I think like I said, it used to be to get to the UFC. Now it's just really, I love it. I love competing. I think competing is at the core of my why of everything. I love to test myself and my skill like individually, not with teams, not with anything else. Just rely on myself individually. That's a real tough question, but yeah, I just love to have fun in there and go spar and test myself individually.
It's really evident when you go out there and compete, man. And whether that's in jiu-jitsu or just go out there in martial arts, man, you're a real pleasure to actually go out there and watch compete. And one thing is always consistent is like, the team that's behind you. We had on Clope Philippe Gentry come on and just speak about you. He spoke about Josh, man. Like, what is the team? What does SPG like really mean to you at its core? Is that
we're close? It's not just a gym. We're close. We're all family there. We're always constantly communicating, hanging out inside and outside the gym. We got our backs no matter what. Philippe has created such a good environment at Buford and Atlanta, putting together different events for the team to get together outside the gym. It just has such a great environment and solid energy all around. Like there's no other gym I'd rather be at because of the energy and the environment.
Sense of pride when you go out there.
When you went to UGA, you were at the hardcore gym back then with Rory and Adam Singer.
Yep.
I guess for all the people that haven't known about the hardcore gym, Brian Bowles, Forrest Griffin, all the other guys, describe kind of what that mentality was like over there and the hard work and not the fancy gyms that we have these days.
Yeah. Right when I got there, I think 2013, there was about a 2 or 3 year period where it was still the old school, like let's sprawl or let's brawl it out every Tuesday, every Saturday, and just go hard. And there was tons and tons of fighters. It was kind of like, I guess, Team Lima, like you see now, like 20, 30 fighters in the room. Like you said, Brian Bowles was my main training partner for a few years. Forrest wasn't there when I was there, but he came back once. And it was a different environment. And then they kind of changed it over to SPG, they were always SPG, but they just kind of switched the name, and it kind of changed a little bit more into focusing on the business side of that. And then the fighters kind of left, and then they started getting some fighters back. Lawson always stayed. Bowles was always there, and there was a few other amateurs always there. And now they're kind of making a come up. We got 3 SPG Athens guys, James, Nick, and Austin on the card too. So it's always good. I try to get up there as much as I can. Hopefully once a month, because Adam and Rory are just a wealth of knowledge. There's tons of people in that room. You can get some good rounds in too.
Yeah, and they used to be kind of the Saturday training place. I remember my buddy Dave Vitkin, a lot of other guys would drive an hour and a half there every Saturday to train up in Athens with you guys up there.
Yeah, I trained with Dave, Stephen Upchurch, Chaz Walton. Everyone's come through the hardcore gym at SPG Athens. It's a solid environment. They have tons of room on the mat, so good coaching too.
How do you expect this fight to play out on Friday?
I don't really plan too much, but I'm hoping to get the knockout in round 1. I'm really confident in my stand-up of late. I got a little tired my last fight. Didn't really do the extra running or extra cardio or anything, so I'm definitely in shape, and I'm super confident. I think I can beat him everywhere. Obviously, he thinks the same thing, but I just got to set things up and find my shots. But I'm hoping for a first round knockout.
That feeling of knocking another person out like you did at the Pink Pony, man. What does that feel like? Finishing an opponent.
No better feeling. Just the ref pulling you off, or just a clean knockout. I've only had one clean or two clean knockouts, but just knowing just that primal instinct, jumping on the person and just hammering away until that ref just pulls you off. It's a weird feeling. It's primal for sure, but it's awesome.
You know what you're walking out to? What song?
I got a few options. I still got to decide. It's a couple good ones. I think the fans will like whatever I pick.
And you're fighting at Monday Night Garage. You fought at Pink Pony. You fought at the District. I'm not sure if you fought at Tannery Row, but
hopefully.
Do you have a preference like on venue?
I've never fought Monday Night, but I hear it's pretty good for the fighters, the warm-up areas and everything. They all have their pros and cons. I surprisingly liked the Pink Pony because I was warm within like 2 minutes. I just walked outside and I'm already sweating. I'm like, all right, there's my warm-up, and just went out there and did the thing. So, there's tons of good venues. I know we've been to Center Stage in the past, and Wild Bills. I don't know what that's called now. I've fought all
Coliseum.
It's called Atlanta Coliseum?
It's called Atlanta Coliseum. They only put on 100% Mexican events. Nothing like what they used to. It's kind of
Dang. Well, that sucks because that was a good venue to fight at too. But I mean, the District is great too. I love the District. It's an intimate environment. It's nice and small. I like that. What about Center Stage? Have you thought about going back to Center Stage?
I really haven't, just because I've naturally thought about it and talked about it, but I just don't see it happening. Center Stage. I'm all about relationships and people that welcome you in. And every venue I have right now loves the NFC, loves the fights that we do, wants us to come back. I can't do enough dates to fill our 4 venues that we have. And looking at a 5th one right now, Center Stage was never about that. They were jerks from start to finish, complaining about everything nonstop. The rates would go up during COVID. They went down, up. So I just don't see myself going back to Center Stage anytime soon. It's beautiful. It is probably the nicest venue in Atlanta. But I just don't see it happening anytime soon.
What about the Roxy? I've always wanted to fight there. I saw you were going there in March.
Are you talking about the Roxy and the Battery?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not doing there. We're going to do Sport and Social at the Battery, which is pretty dope. But the Roxy's like $15,000. That's above what I can afford, unfortunately.
So the cage is going to be like in that little pit area near the big screen? Really?
About like the 50-foot screen. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be dope.
Have you scoped out all the warm-up areas and everything?
Yeah, so the warm-up area is going to be cool. One's going to be upstairs. The other one's going to be at PBR. So we're going to shut PBR down during the fights and use that as the dressing room. Nice. The walkout would be down the long stairs there. You've got the huge 50-foot screen TV. And we're actually, my cage won't fit in there. So I'm going to be bringing from Combat Night in Florida, Mitchell Tramali's cage up. Mine's a 24-foot cage. His is an 18-foot cage.
Yeah,
it is a tiny cage. It is a small cage. But the weird thing is I've never seen one person complain about the size of their cage. And they've had heavyweights in there. So
it's interesting. I've always wondered about fighting in that super, super small cage because we almost got Amanda a fight for them. It's almost like you take one step and you're right there.
Yeah. To tell you the difference, when we put the cage up, we have 2 tables on each side. When you're commentating, there's 2 tables, so 6 people. Their cage can only fit 3 people on each side. So that tells you how small their cage is. But they do have 2 cages, an 18-foot and a 20-foot. So a little bit of difference, but not much. So it'll be interesting to see.
Has he said why he does that? Why he has that small cage?
I think just the venue sizes. So he uses I do small, intimate, exciting, fun venues. And the smaller cage you have, that means a smaller venue you can go to.
Nice.
My 24-foot doesn't fit in some cage. Even at Center Stage, when we were there wasn't a lot of walking around room. So the smaller your cage, the more fans you can put in there, and the more venues it opens you up to. So
nice.
Yeah.
Zach, now it seems like you're really interested in fighting on this March 10th card, man. You got to give Jesse Wable and David Oblas a reason this Friday to put you on that card to make sure that you on that, huh?
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully I come out injury free. I know I got some flack on the NFC community because I was like, man, my goal was to call out Devontae and get that fight back. Because 4.5 years ago, no, it was 5 years ago in Bellator, he beat me by third round guillotine choke. So I really wanted that one back, and given the 45 belt was vacant, I was like, ooh, that's a good opportunity. I'm gonna call him out. But we'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen. That should be a good fight, Mike Wilson versus Devontae. That's a fire fight right there. And yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes January.
We'll see how it goes on Friday, man. Just before we I got a couple more things. You mentioned earlier that you are a fighter by day, man. Mm-hmm. How did that come about, and you know, how has that just helped you as just on a man-to-man level?
Oh, it's the perfect job to have if you're a fighter. 1 day on, 2 days off. I was trying to figure out, we moved back home from Florida right before the pandemic, so perfect timing for us. But I had no idea what to do. I had just a remote job and I didn't like it. And then they kind of got away with the job once the pandemic happened. So I was looking at all my values, everything that I wanted, and firefighting was perfect. So I applied to 5 different places, took almost a year. The whole process started January 2021, 40 weeks. And now I'm full-time off my probation period, I think a 1.5 years in now. And I love it. It's such a good job because we can work out on shift. We just hang out and then we get calls. We run calls all day. Just have a good time. So it's perfect. 2 days off too. So my 2 days off, I immediately go to the gym, do a 2-day, and then same thing the next day, and then train on shift. So
respect for what you do for our society, man, the entire NFC community.
Yeah.
Before we part ways, man, what do you want to leave David and I, as well as the NFC community, with?
Who's saying firefighter life?
So that's nasty, Nate.
Yeah,
saying that, and it's the best job in the world.
It is. It's awesome. He left briefly, but I saw he went back, so it'll pull you back in, man. It's such a fun job. You got a lot to do. What do I want to leave everyone with? That's a good question. I don't know. Just stay tuned. What is it on Fight TV this weekend?
They don't. I found out. I always call them Fight TV. They're not Fight TV. We can only refer to them as Fight, which I never knew. So it's Fight. Yeah.
It's like that time they try to make you Nat fight.
Or we can call them Fight by Triller. We can call them that if we want to. Fight by Triller.
Fight by Triller. Oh, it's a Triller thing. Okay, yeah. Well, buy your tickets. Buy the stream. Main event. Me and Walter are gonna. This is my 3rd main event in a row. Both times have been spectacular fights. Even when I lost, it was a crazy good fight. I think there's gonna be a finish in this one. One of us is getting finished, and I definitely think that I'm gonna get that first round knockout.
Love the energy.
Before leaving, I was gonna say, you and Nathan Williams, while he's watching right now, you and him need to start a company where you do the mobile IVs at all the fights. I've said that before.
Yeah. Me and my wife Casey were talking about doing mobile IVs and stuff for a little bit, and then and then just kind of fell through. But that would be cool if me and him did that.
They need a sponsor, David. Put some money up for him, man.
Yeah. I charge $10K.
They're supposed to sponsor the NFC.
An alumni sponsor. Y'all said y'all went to the same high school, right? And y'all Jewish? Come on now, put some money up on them, Dave.
You don't say Jewish and then say put money up. Those two things don't go together. It's you're Jewish, take money away. No.
Indeed. Zach Cooper, man, thanks for joining us, man. We look forward to watching you compete.
Yeah, man.
Friday, January 20th against Walter Flores, man. Keep saving lives out there, doing what you're doing. We look forward to, again, watching you hook them up.
Sounds good. Thank you all for having me.